Up next on Inside ChampCar, hitting the track at Hallett. Welcome to Inside ChampCar. He is
Bill Strong.
I am Brian Belansky. This week on the big show, we look ahead to the 8 plus 7 hour at Hallett Motor Racing Circuit. We also have a hot tech tip. See what I did there, Bill?
Yeah, I see what you did.
And we're going to talk with AJ Jackson. He is from the Follow-On Mission. If you're not familiar with this organization, you will be, and you'll be really interested. What a great guy. I always like the fact that we do the interviews first, because then you and I can say how great the interviews are.
We can tease everybody.
Deep tease. So that's going to be fun. But before we get to that, you guys got a little thing going on this weekend in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I've been out here for I don't know, seems like forever. A couple of weeks, 9 days or something like that. I've been out here and or since Ozarks, and just been sitting in a hotel, kind of looking out the window every now and then, and watching the wind. The wind blows all the time here. I mean, it doesn't stop. It's just blowing and blowing. But my brother lives here, so we've been doing some sightseeing and stuff, and having fun. I hadn't seen my brother really. I haven't hung out. This is the longest I've hung out with my brother since the last time him and I got in trouble when we were little kids. So
nice.
Been a long time. But I did some this past weekend. Found a little circle track here with dirt for racing. I didn't know they raced on dirt.
I know.
You know that, Brian?
I know.
It's a thing called dirt tracking or something.
Right.
So I went out there and I contacted a local photographer that shoots there, and she said, yeah, come on out. And I helped her take pictures, and we had a blast, and I took like 1 million photos, got like 6 that were actually in focus, and because they're fast, man, those little circle track cars.
Well, and apparently,
and had a blast, had some mud thrown on me.
You posted those on Facebook, and a lot of the ChampCar guys were wondering who was taking those pictures, because they were definitely too good to be yours.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah. So got a picture of a car caught on fire that blew their engine, and one of the, I don't say no fire's good, seriously, no fire's good, but one of the things is the guy came down, his fire, the fire got put out pretty quick, and there's a guy with a fire extinguisher, and he grabbed the fire bottle and started shooting it, and it just shot straight up in the air, and he got a hold of the tip and was able to point it where it needed to go. And that's something we've talked about over and over again with our racers. It's like you have to hold the end of the hose and point it where you need to go,
right?
Just like other things in life. And that was a great picture. It was one of those 1 in a million pictures, because you see the extinguisher shoot out and just straight up in the air, and it was great. So it's going to be a good learning tool for our staff and for the racers, hopefully. But had a blast out there, and
cool. Any truth to the
rumor? I'd like to go back and do some more dirt track stuff.
Yeah. Any truth to the
I'd
rumor?
actually like to race on a dirt track.
Yeah. We know what they say. You haven't done it until you've done it in the dirt.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
a dirt track
Never
saying.
heard that, but okay.
Yeah. I have a T-shirt that doesn't fit me anymore. From this.
Well, is it a belly shirt? If it's a belly shirt, those are a popular thing.
It's not. It might be now, but it wasn't when it was bought. I think I got it at the Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin, or some other dirt track. I don't know if is Slinger a dirt track. Maybe that's asphalt. Anyway, I was there for World of Outlaws or Sprint Cars or Midgets or something, and it said, you haven't done it until you've done it in the dirt. So I was gonna say, is there any truth to the rumor that your wife now has a bail bondsman in Oklahoma on the Venmo?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. I you and your brother getting together.
It could be. The Garcias are back together.
That's right. Okay, bail bondsman deluxe or something.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I call her every now and then. She says, "Who are you?" That kind of stuff. So
she says, "Wait."
She says she still loves me.
Quiet. My husband's on the phone.
Quiet. Yeah.
All right, let's get to some serious stuff.
Funny stuff.
Hallett this weekend. What's the dealio? You've
Hallett.
got
What's a Hallett?
Hallett is a really cool racetrack from everyone I've ever talked to who's been there. 8 hours on Saturday, 7 hours on Sunday in Cleveland, not in Ohio. Cleveland, Oklahoma.
No.
So what do we know? What's the plan?
So Hallett, Cleveland, Oklahoma. Where is that? That's Tulsa, Oklahoma. about 2.5 hours from where I'm at right now. It's a great little track. It's a flowing track.
Okay.
You can run it multiple ways. We're only running one way this weekend, which is clockwise.
So
and
do you sometimes
the cool
run?
thing about the track now,
Do you sometimes run
well,
a
we
track
have in
one
the
way on
past.
Saturday and another way on Sunday?
They have, but we're only doing this one this
Got
way,
it.
and
Okay.
it's a lot of it has to do with staffing and how we, how we have to reconfigure things, and
Right.
just we don't really have the staff to do that for this race.
Got it.
But it makes it easier for us too. So
Sure.
and it's all about making Bill's life easy. You know that,
Is
right?
that what it is?
Yeah. No,
That's not
even
what I've
close.
heard, but okay.
But oh yeah. So we have how many cars we got? We got a bunch this year. 29 cars signed up, and
Cool.
lots of folks. There's some big name cars here coming. We have Basil Weenie showing up again, and they're always one of the favorites that can do well here. Battle Scarred, who we talk about, Battle Scarred Motorsports, which we talk about later in the show. They'll be there with 2 cars. They've got 2 Ford Crown Vics going against these little Miatas. I think those all Ford Crown Vics. One's a 2011 and one's a 96, but I don't think they really changed all that much, did they?
Is it really? You sure it's not a 1911? Did they build a car in 2011?
It could be. I think. I don't know. They're cop cars, right? They're probably old cop cars.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The CU Boulder team will be there with their Mazda Miata. Now those guys are getting really good. I mean, really good. They do a lot of racing, that college team.
Right.
So they're going to be there, and they'll be broadcasting on their live stream as well. We're not doing a show from there because it's just my guys need time off. They've got to work, do regular jobs, things like that. So,
right.
And I'll be taking pictures. I might do some live streaming from there, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, and for the Middle America folks, this race and then the last race at Harris Hill, kind of the last 2 times this year that we're already in May, but you only heading out to that Middle America section 2 more times this year. So got to get there and get your racing in.
Yeah, that's right. K&H Motorsports will be there with their 1970 Ford Mustang, which we spoke to them earlier this year. Kruger Tuned Racing South, their Porsche Boxer will be there. That's always a really competitive car.
Okay.
Looney Tunes and their Mustang will be there, and that's a fast car. And that usually, if it's not braking, it's up there. Now, when I say braking, they have just little issues.
Right.
But as long as that car stays together, they're going to be up there. They were just at Ozarks here a couple of weeks ago. Who else there? Night Fury Racing and their Toyota Celica will be there. And then 2 Beaners in a Bucket, some friends of mine that they have a Miata, and they'll be there with their racing, Viking Chug Racing, and Wheels America was bringing both cars. And, of course, one of their drivers had some brain issues, brain bleed or something. I forget what it
aneurysm,
was.
I think
it wasn't good. Yeah, aneurysm. Yeah, and it wasn't good. But as far as I know, everybody's doing fine now.
Great.
But they're bringing 2 cars, and of course we're going to have 2 Toyota Celicas at this race, which is really odd. Worst case scenario, they're having another '84 Celica there, or as we like to call it, a Celica. Well, how to upset your broadcast team? Call it a Celica. But yeah, lots of wide variety of cars. Cousin Racing's bringing their Volkswagen Cabriolet. I don't know what Cousin Racing, what the meaning of that is, but a Volkswagen Cabriolet, that should be fun to watch.
Yeah.
A BMW Z4 will be there with Geyer Course. These guys make up these names I can't pronounce. Pontiac Firebird from Knight Industry. Oh, wait a second.
Knight Industries?
Knight Industries Racing.
Oh, wow.
No, that might be the ringer, man. It's an '89 Pontiac Firebird.
It's just going to jump over all of the incidents. So if you spin in front of it, don't worry. It's just going to hit the button. It's going to launch over all the incidents.
Yeah. And, Safety Third Racing, and they always do pretty well because, safety's not first with these guys. They have Band-Aids. Yeah. They have little stickers that are Band-Aids that says Safety Third Racing.
Nice. I love it.
And Surrender the Booty.
Excuse me?
I guess that's give up the money. That's what it says. Surrender the Booty. They've got a Nissan 350Z. So they've got money because it's an 04. That's all I can think of what Booty is. Well, it's about money, about, the what do you call those guys that Oh, come on, man.
You,
Come on, Bill. Think.
You got me.
Surrender the booty. Come on. God.
I'm leaving you hang on this one because
not Vikings.
Norseman?
The one eye patch.
Oh, okay.
Come
Pirates?
On. What are they? Pirates. That's it. God. Oh.
Wow, that was uncomfortable.
I need to get outside and get some sun.
You need some vitamin D, exactly. Or some coffee.
Yes, I've been stuck in this hotel room for a month. They keep throwing work at me. So, do the work, Bill. Do the work. Stay off the internet. Stop upsetting the board.
All right. So, anything else special from the subs that we should think about or anything we need to know?
Oh, now you're asking questions.
I know. This is supposed to be an informative, cutting edge.
So the cool thing, yeah. So the cool thing about this race is that they have a new tunnel they've built.
Oh, yes.
And hopefully that construction's done, or at least we should be able to get cars back and forth on it. So we don't have to stop the race to allow people to enter and leave the track, which is always a good thing.
Nice.
Yep. And we have a test day going on. So if you want to participate in test day, please contact Hallett. Or go to their website and sign up, and that's going to be fun. Get some practice on the track, and even if you're not part of ChampCar, I think you can go there. But just give them a call to make certain that it's not just ChampCar only.
Right.
In the past, it's been others as well.
Right.
And it's $300 per team. I'm
for
just
the
seeing
test
if there's
day.
any. Yeah, for the test day. Yep.
So
and that's Friday.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
I was going to say the only cool thing at Hallett this weekend is the tunnel, because the temperatures will not be. Notice the transition I'm doing here. Right now, the forecast at Hallett this weekend: 88 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday, with just a teeny chance of rain. And if that happens, you'll have like 190% humidity.
Well, the good thing is that in the center of the country, the heat isn't that bad. Wait. Wrong notes. I'm sorry. The heat is really bad.
Yeah.
And that segues into the tech tip.
Tech tip.
I'm getting the head banging down, man.
That's right.
It's tech tip time.
That's right.
So our tech tip this week is knowing and understanding heat stress.
Yes.
Heat stress. And that's not just about heat stress risers on the parts that you made for your race car. It's about your drivers.
Yes.
Your drivers, man. And not just your drivers, but your pit crew and anybody else that's outside with you. So something that I started bringing up at most of the 24s, especially the ones that take place in the summer or late summer in Virginia, or other places where it gets really hot, is watching your crew and your drivers. And one of the things you need to do is talk to your drivers and listen to them and how they're talking to you over the radio, or even how they're interacting with each other on pit lane. How do they look when they get out of the car? Because heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and worst of all, heat stroke. These can kill your drivers. These can kill you. They can hurt themselves. And I had an issue years ago where I had, I didn't have heat stroke, but I was heat exhaustion.
Right.
And I was making stupid mistakes. And I like to pass this on to guys. It really wasn't
the heat, but.
No, it was the heat. No, this is serious stuff here,
I agree.
Brian.
Sorry.
No, don't laugh at me. No, I'm kidding. But I'm at 2 a.m. in the morning, or maybe it was 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'd been up all day long and worried about my car the night before. Did I do everything right? I'm not eating properly, not drinking properly, most likely. And I remember going up the S's and thinking about work. Like, what am I got to do with the bookstore? Why? Oh man. And I get up to Oak Tree, and it's like, what the heck am I doing, Bill? Why am I thinking about work? And next thing I know, I'm going down the back straightaway, and I start thinking about work again. And this happened for like 3 or 4 laps where I just could not concentrate on the job at hand, which was driving a race car really fast on a track that could kill me.
Right.
I'm going down Hogpen, And again, I just lose contact. I'm making silly, simple mistakes that I wouldn't normally make. And it starts raining and I end up going off the track
right
at the bottom of Hog Pen. And I decide I'm going to enter the track. I've got the car, what I thought was under control. And I came back and the car snapped on me. My MR2 snapped, the snap oversteer because I was going too fast in those conditions.
Sure.
And I ended up missing by millimeters, Mercury Capri, convertible. And there's a great video of it online. You can see me just barely miss them. And I end up hitting head on the guardrail on driver's right. And as the car swung around, my head hit the roll cage of the MR2. We didn't have the full containment seat at the time, and it cracked my helmet, and I got a concussion and a brain bleed. It took a couple of days or a day before I noticed that I had a concussion, and it all came due to just my inability to drive a race car correctly because of my issues at that moment, which were most likely due to stress and heat.
Right.
So, and again, not eating or drinking properly, or even eating properly. Right. So, one of the things that I've always suggested to your guys manning the radio, talk to your drivers. If they're not making sense, or they're just making simple, silly mistakes that they would not normally do, bring them in.
Yep.
Seriously, bring them in, talk to them, see what's up. You're not gonna win this race if they lose the car or hurt themselves.
Sure.
Or hurt somebody else. So bring them in, talk to them, get them out of the car, get somebody else in, get them food, get them something to drink, and that. So one of the things you have to do for heat cramps, they start cramping up in the legs. Man, I'm having a hard time shifting or whatever. And most guys, because we're men, we won't say, tell our teammates this stuff, but if you start getting cramps in the car, it's most likely due to dehydration from heavy sweating and not drinking enough. They lead to those heat cramps, and the symptoms are heavy sweating and muscle spasms or cramps. And you can't tell that you're heavy sweating because you're in a race suit. Right. So, just not one of those things. You need to drink cool water, sports drink with electrolytes, and apply cold compresses to the cramps, which means you need to get out of that car.
Right.
You just don't fight through it, because that can lead to heat exhaustion, and that comes on rapidly. Heavy sweating, muscle spasms or cramps, nausea, vomiting, dizziness or headaches, or even fainting. And that's where this high-speed racing we do, that's not a good thing to happen.
Yeah, that'd be a bad thing.
That's when you need to get first aid.
Right.
Yeah, you need to get out of the car, drink cold water or cool water, a sports drink with electrolytes, and move to a cool shaded place, remove your suit, or loosen the clothing to get the heat out. You need to get that heat out and get liquids in you. I see guys pouring water on them. That's not really doing much of anything.
Right.
Getting the water in you gets it through your blood and gets the sweat going again. And the sweat is what releases the heat. And then if for some reason you get heat stroke, and we have seen this at races, we've seen it over and over again, hot, dry skin, profuse sweating, confusion, disorientation. And that's where we get into the just making really bad decisions. Slurred speech, seizures or convulsions, throbbing headache, and a very high body temperature over 104 degrees. That can kill you, man.
Right.
That you have to get to the doctor immediately, and we will get first aid. You just find yourself one of our workers along pit lane, one of our staff, the gray shirts, anybody that you can see, get them first aid over there. Every race we have an ambulance or two on site.
Yep.
We will get them to you. Don't try to move the guy over to the medical center. Just call us. A radio is much faster than you can walk.
Right.
And plus you're making that guy exert more. Get liquids in him as soon as you can. Move him to a cool shaded place, apply cold compresses, and wet the person's clothing with water and a fan with a towel. It says do not give them anything to drink. It could pose a choking hazard in their altered mental state.
Sure.
Didn't think about that, but I'm reading we'll put a link to some of this stuff. Yep.
So a couple Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just, this is something that as a team owner, as a team manager, as a crew chief, as the guy that handles the radios, and we have people of all, skill levels running the teams at all hours of the night. Right. They're the ones that need to keep an eye out for this and watch their team members.
So a couple things I would add is that's all great on how to see it coming and doing with it when it happens. But what we really should try to do is avoid getting to that point in the first place. So, the drinking, the sports drinks, and I would say even, sports drinks, I'm not a fan of. They have these really cool things. If you go to any running store, there's this. It's called Noom that I use. It's a little tablet. It's not a salt tablet. It's an electrolyte tablet. It's and they do have different flavors. I like the non-flavored. Just put it in a bottle of water and drink it. There's no sugar because the sugar can give you other problems too when it's really hot out. So there's that. I would also say that whenever you can, get out of the heat. If you have a motorhome to go to, even if you sit in your car with the air conditioning on, do whatever you can to spend as much time out of the heat in the shade as you possibly can. Drink enough liquid so that when you pee, you're peeing white. It's clear. That's how you know you're hydrated enough. So it is important.
If it's brown, it's not. If it's yellow, dark yellow, brown, not good. Not good at all.
So while it's great to know the signs and symptoms when it's happening, do whatever you can to avoid it from happening. And then the other thing people don't think about is hydrate a lot more than you normally would in the days leading up to the event, not just the day of the event. If you can drink an extra half a gallon or a gallon of water on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, your body retains that water for several days, and if you can pre-hydrate, that's going to help you a ton. What else is there? Cool suits in a car. If you have that opportunity, use it.
Either a cool shirt or cool suit, or the shirts,
correct,
or the Walbro type Walbro type shirts that don't actually have water going to them. They work with science and NASA and stuff. That's what I use. I love it. It's great. Works in the really hot temperatures. You may even see me on pit road with it on. That's how good it is.
Be careful
now,
with
one
putting.
Thing is,
as I say, a lot of guys like to put ice.
Be careful with alcohol.
That too. But a lot of people like to take a bag of ice and put it in their suit. That's great. But you have to remember that ice melts really, really fast, and then you just end up with boiling water inside your suit. So if you're going to put the ice in the suit,
it usually goes to the bottom somewhere where you might not want it boiling.
Well, that's true too. But if you do put an ice pack in your suit, just remember that maybe in 5 or 10 laps, yank the bag out, put it in the floorboard next to you. Even open the bag
throw it out the window at your
do that too.
Radiator.
I'm not suggesting that. I'll have Chelsea yelling at me or whatever. But there's another option, but be careful with that option. Also, alcohol, you're 100%. Do not
stay
drink
away
on
from
Friday
alcohol.
night or Saturday night. Just don't do it.
And even be aware. And this is something, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but one of the first things they do along pit lane is they break out the beers and stuff. And let me tell you guys get drunk, and you get drunk fast. And it's sometimes
especially when you're dehydrated.
And yes. And you haven't drank anything for 24 hours. Or sorry, you've been doing this thing for 24 hours. You're tired, and you just start downing them beers. They're great. They taste really good. But man, you guys, just hold off on that a bit, and that could help recover as well. Drink water.
And my last tip,
the recovery is really important.
Yep. And then my last suggestion is, you were saying talk to your people. All of that's good advice. I'd like to assign one person. And that person's job is to watch people all weekend long. It's your job to see, keep an eye on people, see that people are drinking, hand people bottles of water. You're kind of like the hydration officer of the team.
Yes.
And have one person assigned and just talk about it and set that up ahead of time and kind of don't leave it to chance that you're paying attention to each other. And make sure that person's not a driver.
Right.
Well,
they can be a driver.
It can be,
but let me tell you, make certain that your crew chief or your guy that's in charge of the car, the whole operation, make sure he's drinking, because you're so focused on doing this stuff, you forget. And I had a race at Sebring where my wife and daughter came down, and that was their job. And they made sure everybody on my team stay hydrated. And I'll tell you what, it was huge for my team.
Well, and I would suggest that person who's supposed to be, whose job it is to make, should not be the crew chief. Because that person's got tons of other stuff to worry about.
Yes.
Give it to a perfect job for a family member.
I don't care about you guys. Yeah, exactly.
But a perfect job for a family member. Good. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the most important thing is Brian, myself, Bill Strong, are not doctors.
No.
We're not medical professionals. I am married to one, but other than that, we're not. And please take our advice with a grain of sand, but please do it. Seriously, this is just from experience, and it's from doing a lot of research on this, on the internet, which is, of course, everything's right on the internet. But it's things that we see at races, and not just the 24s.
Yep.
It could be a sprint race or whatever, but just make sure you guys stay hydrated. Super important. And we cannot stress it enough.
Yeah.
Because we want you guys going back to work on Monday in one piece and with no issues.
A really great resource if you want to do some internet research is look up Ironman triathlete heat endurance hydration. I mean, that's I do some triathlons. I've never done an Ironman, but there's a whole bunch of articles out there on how to keep yourself hydrated over a long period of time, and it's the same type of stuff that we need to do. So good stuff there.
Yep.
Wow, that was a good tech tip.
Yes.
Awesome. Anything else before we head home or head to our break and then get to AJ Jackson?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Got a bunch of races coming up. It's getting hot in the summer, so take our advice, please, and take it seriously. And let's have some fun, and let's get everybody into the winter safe and sound.
Sounds good. All right, we're going to head to break. When we come back, AJ Jackson from the Follow-On Mission, a great organization who's helping veterans through using racing and ChampCar. We'll do that when we come back on Inside ChampCar.
Every race weekend, you don't know what's going to happen. But with ChampCar.live, all the action comes right into your living room. The ChampCar Endurance Series is North America's home to real competitive endurance road racing. And ChampCar.live brings you live, full race coverage with in-car, trackside cameras, interviews, and expert commentary. And ChampCar.live brings you live, full race coverage with in-car and trackside cameras, interviews, and expert commentary. Check out ChampCar.live on the web, subscribe, and ring the bell so as not to miss a single minute of the action. It's fun, free, informative, and it's just a click away. ChampCar.live. Come check us out. We bring you a front row seat, but you'll only need the edge.
All right, welcome back to Inside Champ Car. I'm Brian Belansky. He is
Bill Strong.
And we are joined now by AJ Jackson. He is born and raised in Missouri, because it is Missouri, right? That's how we say it? That's the proper way?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get your butt kicked, yeah, it's Missouri.
I think you could do that.
Common mistake. There's a lot of really bad TV shows out there about the Ozarks, and they kind of poke fun at us living here in Missouri. But no, I assure you, it's Missouri.
I was raised in Wisconsin, and I went to school in Minnesota, so I know how the whole regional vernacular thing works. I get it completely.
Yeah.
So
Brian, you're recovered now? I
am recovered. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Now I'm on the West Coast, so I want to get away from the snow. I have an affinity for sunshine. So anyway, AJ's here with us today. He is here to talk about his racing and the follow-on mission, which we're going to get to in just a second. But let's go back to the beginning. Well, not the beginning, because you tried to do that earlier, and I had to have a discussion. But you started racing back in '82. You were a youngster. You're only a little bit older than I am, so still a youngster racing motorcycles. A lot of kids got started and hooked on the fast sports and motorcycles, right?
Yeah, it was locally. Growing up in the '80s, motocross was everywhere in the Midwest.
Right.
Hometown track 5 minutes away. Next tracks, you go 30, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours away. There's a track to race Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of places are in Wednesday night as well.
Right. And then in '87, you enlisted in the Air Force, and you've got
Hey.
I know Bill's an Air Force guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
What'd you do in the Air Force?
Oddly enough, I was a tail gunner on B-52H models for a short period of time.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've ever met a tail gunner before. Too cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good gig. It was short lived. The what was it? The Grand Rudman Hollings Budget Act or Strength Reduction Act or something
Yeah.
like that. Anyway, they said, "Hey, tail gunners,
Yeah, we
pack
got
it up,
out.
go find."
Yeah, well, we got my wife or my ex-wife got out under that as well. She
Okay,
was a systems analyst. Yeah.
okay. So
So,
yeah, you tell people, you look at my timeline in the Air Force. It's like, did that guy even finish enlistment? I did. I had to maintain, had to fill out that little that cute little SF-86 every year, and
oh yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. You forget to do that, and the black Crown Vics show up at your house. So don't forget to do your paperwork, boys and
Oh,
girls. If you're in the find yourself in the Ready Reserve in the Air Force after flying on B-52s, do your paperwork.
I didn't even get out of the ROTC. That act eliminated my ROTC program at my college.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, it like did away with the whole program, and they wanted me to go like 4 hours away to the next closest school with an ROTC program, and I'm like, can I just get out?
Yeah.
And they said sure, but
Yeah.
so. And then coming out of that, you had a little break before you got back into the military, and you did some racing there as well, right?
Yeah, military. It was interesting. I snuck in through the National Guard. I told the wife the old lie. It's, hey, I'm just going to do it to pay for school. We're not going back into the military. But in early part of my Army career, I continued with the motorcycles. As the injuries piled up, let's see, I moved, the traditional off-road enduro motocross thing, cross country. We'd gotten heavily into asphalt track days. The track we were running, once a month, they did run I call it a mock race. It looked just like a normal race, but think no insurance or trophies. So we called it a mock race. So we did that once a month.
right.
And injuries piled up. I was also racing flat track. If you've never taken a 72 horsepower motor on a motorcycle on a 1,023-foot track, you need to try that sometime. It's exciting. But injuries piled up, and I found myself racing bicycles. Kind of went back to my youth.
How did you get like regular 10 speed multi racing, USCF type stuff? Because I did a little of that too.
Yeah, USA Cycling.
Right.
Made it up to I did USA Cycling. I was big into the crits, a few road races. Yep. Did cyclocross, which is real big in the Carolinas. That's a good time. Let's take a bike that looks like a 10-speed, semi-narrow tires, and just send it off road.
Yep.
Good times.
Yep. You should, if you don't know what cyclocross is, YouTube cyclocross, and these guys jumping over rocks and doing some crazy stuff with that. So very cool. Very cool.
But it was the skinny tire stuff I couldn't do. I did Norba mountain bike stuff on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And the Norba tour up and down here.
Very
back in the 90s, and things were much simpler back then. When you were doing it, it's a little more competitive, I would say.
Yeah, it was. You got to put your cute little spandex onesie on, and it's
nobody
40
ever.
degrees outside. Yeah. So you're in North Carolina, middle of winter, 40 degrees, wearing your little onesie out there, just covered in mud, having a ball. So 50 minutes of that, quick little break, and go do it again.
Nice. Now you got back in with the Army National Guard in 2000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you went from being badass in a B-52 to being badass in special forces.
Yeah, I took an unusual route to get there. Started out as a combat engineer with my local unit. Met some guys met some neat dudes, and they convinced me. I was doing a lot of say marksmanship competitions, scout sniper stuff. Met some special forces dudes, and they said, "Hey, you were wasting your time as a combat engineer. Why don't you try out?" So saddled up, went through the Special Forces Assessment Selection Program, got selected for training, and let's see, it was about 2 years later, I found myself back on active duty, 3rd Special Forces Group, Fort Bragg.
And you did a couple of tours in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, I spent a little time in Afghanistan, just over 3 years total. I think I had 4 combat tours, did some staff time over there that I don't even talk about. So officers, wow. I know you guys are out there listening. Sorry about that. But
you were enlisted, right?
Yeah. Retired as a master sergeant. So I came to the Special Forces has a kind of a divergent plan. When you hit E7, you're gonna stay in the enlisted track, or you're gonna go and become a warrant officer. And I chose the enlisted track
right.
to yeah. So I was having fun, wanted to stay on the teams as long as I could. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, we got a couple of buddies that are that race with us in ChampCar that are warrant officers in the Army. We make fun of them all the time. One of them's a helicopter pilot, which I guess when you fly those helicopters that they fly, they let you know that they're helicopter pilots.
Oh,
you guys do that?
No, no. It's think about when an Army warrant officer pilot or Navy SEAL walks into the bar, you know how you can tell is because they tell everybody. So, but no, Special Forces, other than going on the occasional podcast, we're the quiet professionals. We really don't say a whole lot about it. You know, our friends know, our neighbors may or may not know, but yeah, we keep it pretty quiet. We don't. Right. Once we make it to a team, we don't get a book deal and a movie contract like the SEALs do. So.
Or the Coast Guard guys, like our fearless leader Dana Morrison. Still don't understand that. The Coast Guard's considered military, really? You just sail around in a boat all day and
Dana's not listening, is he? So
no, not
good
yet.
guys.
He might later. Who knows?
And this will be our final podcast of the. So we got to make this one really good, Bill. Thank you. Thank you.
I know he keeps every time he brings up the chair force or something, and when I was in, it was it wasn't as I was in the Cold War, which was not really cold because it kind of was in England when I was there, but we really didn't do much anything except play war games and stuff. And now these kids nowadays and your generation, it was real. And my hat's off to you guys, and thank you very much for your service. It was an adventure for me. You guys actually had the tough stuff, but the follow-on mission, you guys, it's a pretty neat program, man. That you guys, you debuted it with us at Ozarks, right?
Yeah, Ozark was our that was our systems check, full dress rehearsal. We all had been together in pieces to a racetrack before, but we had never had the whole team assembled and ready to go. So Ozark was the debut for the follow-on mission as far as the action arm actually getting out there. That was our big kickoff, and man, picked a heck of a race to do it at too.
Yeah. So tell us, what is the follow-on mission?
Okay, follow-on mission. It's a 501c3. I'm not supposed to ask for any money, but at 501c3, we're donor funded.
Sure.
The chairman of our board said, leave it at that. We don't go around getting on podcasts and asking for things. But we are 501c3. This is something ChampCar literally saved my life, and I'm not afraid to tell people that. I had entered a very predictable dark spiral. I was approaching 50 years old. PTSD, chronic pain, some prosthetic implants in my body. And typically that's a bad combination. And I've had a couple of providers tell me that my life expectancy at that point was give or take 5 years after I retired from the military. Another charitable organization rented a seat with them and got to race Tom Webb's Pinto at COTA. And the turnaround was just dramatic. I mean, I felt it within myself, and Rebecca she gets in tears when she talks about it. Just, it interrupted that dark spiral that it may or may not end in suicide for me. I don't know. But I'm just going to say it interrupted that spiral. At that point, we started thinking about, this is something we're going to pursue. And we wanted to focus on specifically ChampCar. Just after getting out there, interacting social media, meeting the teams, meeting the staff. So we formed the follow-on mission, and we don't rent seats. We provide a fully immersive team. Excuse me, a fully immersive team experience. No cost to the vet, active duty military, or first responder. And provide them this adrenaline therapy. Sorry, I'm pausing here, and I'm in a lot. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But
that's all right.
Yeah. So purpose, provide adrenaline therapy through fully immersive motorsports, no charge combat veterans or first responders suffering PTSD or depression. focuses ChampCar endurance series, but expands beyond the racetrack. And this is going back to the fully immersive experience. We bring the vet into the team. They prep the car. They work on the car. They prep the car. They understand the car before they get into it. When they're not driving, they're not a written a seat. When they're not driving, they're holding the fuel jug. They're watching the lap times. They're working as a spotter. They're on the radio, or they're just following the directions of the crew chief. They are truly a member of the team.
So I've talked about this on this podcast with some folks, and throughout a lot of the racing that I've done, I've run across people with military background, and we always kind of touch on why military members find an interest in a connection with motorsports, and how it's mission oriented, and there's the teamwork and all of that. Is that the same kind of feedback that you get from the guys and gals who you deal with?
Yeah, absolutely. It's bringing that team environment back, and it's an outlet. With PTSD, it chemically changes the brain, and it living that you have high cortisol, high adrenaline levels for an extended period of time, and it turns adrenaline from being something that's very enjoyable, very pleasurable for most people, to something that's associated with bad times. And bringing them into the team and letting them feel that adrenaline rush of being on the car, being part of the team again, it starts to change. It starts to change that from being kind of jacked up, hyper aware, what's going on around me, to, hey, this is fun again. I like this feeling.
Now, are you based in Missouri, and are there other parts of the country where the follow-on mission has got some cars, or are you going to expand? How's that working?
Yeah, right now our stated end state of this is we want to be franchised across the country. We want to have an East Coast and kind of a Florida, Atlanta team. This team here is going to handle Midwest and Texas, and we want to start bootstrapping across the country with this. And that's part of our driver development, crew development program. Again, we are stationed here in Missouri, as you stated.
Sure. But
we're looking for those people. We want to recruit those people, and we want to have them just basically an assembly manual of how to take the follow-on mission, hand them a book, get them some experience with us, and let them take the reins at a different area.
So tell us about your first race at the Ozarks this past weekend. I mean, the first race for any team is always dramatic and has stories, and the end result really is unimportant. It's getting out there and making it happen and getting it done. So tell us about your weekend and your run at the Ozarks.
It was amazing. It was, everybody, the internet said everybody's going to die probably within 4 laps, and we may not. Yeah, it may happen before the pace car's off the track. Not true at all. The track was a little narrow. What built the narrow spot? It was 48 inches wide, something like that. No, it was pretty much 4 to 6 cars wide everywhere. Look at the aerial views of the track, and it looks like just a ribbon of death. And you get on the track and you realize that, man, this is Nuremberg, except wide. No, we showed up Friday. It was wet. We're having some trouble with the car. This car was built 10 years ago as a spec E30. We just upgraded the safety gear in it, threw some paint, threw the trim back on it, took it to the track. But one of the donor cars was something I didn't even know of. It was an economy E30, and it had some. I didn't know that was a thing. But it had some legacy smog gear on it, and we were winding up with vacuum overboost that was dragging the brakes and causing the brake light to come on. So we pulled it into the pits we pulled it into our garage, popped the hood, and immediately a big shout out to Flying Ghost. As soon as we popped the hood and they realized, hey man, these guys are looking for something, the whole team was over there, and we had a 30-year BMW tech, looked at it and said, yeah, you need to pull that thing off. That's your problem right there. And just immediately car was fine.
Got out enough to scare you.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, that goes back to the ChampCar family. You pop a hood and scratch your head, and somebody's going to come to your aid right there. So Saturday, we didn't check resistance on the alternator wire. And the alternator wire, the impedance was basically off the chart, and the car stopped charging. And I wound up, luckily, I died under another. We were in a full course yellow, and I lost ignition. Just pulled off next to a flag stand. Came in on the hook, diagnosed the problem, had it back out there. So yeah, we were down for about an hour Saturday. Sunday we had no issues at all. Overall with the team, I don't know, people came by the pits. It's like, my gosh, these people are running one car. I think we had, one time, I think we had like 14 or 15, 19 people out there. It was huge. Extended family members came out to help crew with us. But the smiles and laughter were the order of the day.
So
actually,
what was
yeah. I'm rambling.
What was the reflection from your co-drivers? The other ex-military folk.
Yeah, talking to family members, they were smiles. Best thing they can remember doing ever. Had a family come up to us in tears, stating that the husband and the daughter, her dad, they can't remember ever seeing him. That they couldn't remember the last time they saw him this happy, and they were both in tears, and it was a pretty touching moment. And at that moment, right there, we knew that, hey, we accomplished our mission for this first race.
Right.
So, hopefully.
Right.
I mean, I know teams who've been doing this for decades who would call only having an hour off on Saturday and no problems on Sunday like the biggest victory of their careers. So
yeah.
So
they were
for
still
a first time
out there
team
on Sunday. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So for a first time team out there, that's just remarkable. And just from a racing standpoint, and then when you add on the stories and what the whole process meant for the men and women involved, that's what it's all about, right?
That's it. You hit the nail on the head right there, Brian.
Such good stuff.
So the Ozarks being a super high adrenaline track, because everybody was complaining about the lack of rest, and that you just didn't have time to do anything, that not even wipe the sweat off your forehead. What are you going to do with these guys when you take them to a track like Gingerman, or that takes less?
Yeah,
they're just going to rock at these tracks.
Yeah, we're gonna bump up on the treadwear index. We're gonna bump up to about a 350 or 400 with those little 205s.
There we go.
We'll keep it exciting.
Perfect. Yeah. That is perfect. Like 400 treadwear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Maybe all season.
Overfill the tires too.
Yeah.
Ask my buddy Troy about he drove for Visceral Racing. He was the little guy that was like this tall at Visceral this week, at Ozarks. But we accidentally did that to him one time. We put spare tires on the car, and he just complained about the way it handled, and we completely forgot to let the air out. So
no, about 48, 52 cold is what you want on those. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's always good. That's always good.
Yeah.
So what's next up?
No problem. Nope. Oh, yep.
Yeah, we're not going to make it this weekend. Unfortunately, we are spread out to the 4 Winds. So, we're going to be at Joliet. It's going to be a smaller package, but we'll right now. That's the plan. Everything looks like it's good for Joliet.
Yeah, we heard that about Army guys.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Smaller package. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We go.
Yeah, I got it. I'm tracking.
I'm trying not to get involved in this fun and frivolity here.
Yeah.
You and Brian, Brian Check, right? Because I think you raced with
absolutely.
him at one point, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah. Yes, I did.
The battle scarred. Yeah. So you and Brian, you're gonna kind of work with ChampCar a bit and help mentor maybe some other groups that might want to start up, or maybe even drivers that want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Brian, we stay in touch, and I think Dana has approached us about doing a mentor program. We want to grow this effort. It's not just me and Brian. We want to make this thing big.
Right.
It's interesting because there's a bunch of organizations out there a bunch, maybe a handful who
Yeah.
are veterans oriented and motorsports oriented. It would be kind of cool if you all kind of got together and supported each other. I just interviewed another person with a different organization, and I'm going to connect you to, because I think there's so many parallels between some of these organizations, and like any good military unit, you're stronger as a whole than you are separately. So I think that would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had Racing for Heroes that ran with us for a bunch of years, and they still come back every now and then when we go to VIR, and they run the 24.
Yep.
And good group of guys are stationed out of there. And but yeah, it's something that Dana, being a veteran in the Coast Guard, he's really wanting to help push this stuff, because we do see the issues out there with you guys, and again, this is helping. And it works. It's proven to work.
So if there's a military member out there or the family member, a lot of times the military members don't reach out and try to find this kind of stuff. A lot of times it's the family members who make that first phone call or make that first connection. If we've got someone listening who knows someone who would be interested or should be interested in being a part of what you guys are doing, how do they get a hold of you?
Okay. It's if you want to go to the web and just click on contact us, that email goes to three of us. It's just go to the website, thefollow-on-mission.org.
Yep.
We're also we're on Facebook. Send us an instant message. Pretty small community. You want to go ahead and give a phone number here?
Sure, absolutely. If you want to,
Yeah. And if you want to, you can always shoot me a text, particularly if you're a vet in crisis. Man, pick that phone up, shoot me a text, give me a call. I'll answer for you, I promise. But call AJ here.
And if you're really having issues, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK, because we want to help you. We really do.
And
reach.
Go ahead. What you wanted to give your number?
Yeah. It's 573 area code 690-9557. If you're interested in racing, you just want to talk, you just want to chat, give me a call, shoot me a text. I promise I'll answer that phone for you guys and girls.
And we'll put all of that information in the show notes. So if you're driving or whatever, don't pull over or try to get into a crash. We'll get that information in the show notes. It'll be there for you. And I know you said that your boss told you not to ask for money. I can do that. So if you go to the follow-on-mission.org, you scroll about halfway down the page, there's a Donate Today button. These are folks who deserve our help for what they've done for our country. They're doing amazing things for people who have sacrificed a whole lot for those of us who didn't or couldn't, and they deserve our support. So you haven't done it. You can't get yelled at. I've done it. Go to the follow-on-mission.org, scroll down about halfway down the page, big button, Donate Today. I'm sure $5, $10, $100, $1,000, anything you want to give will help. So, these folks have done so much for us. It's important for us to do something for them. So, cool. Anyone else you want to thank before you go? I mean, this is the time where you say, okay, thank all your sponsors. Who's all the folks?
Hey, we've got our partners listed on the website. That they have asked that please don't go plugging this.
Okay.
So the partners have asked not to be plugged. They're on the website. Scroll through, some awesome people. We're trying to keep updated and keep the donors list fresh.
Sure.
Keep them on for 90 days, and then put the new folks on there. Big shout out to the ChampCar staff. Without the staff and their patience with me, let's leave it at that. This wouldn't have happened. So
I love it, man. You keep those guys like Paul Cruz on their toes, and that's what we want to see.
Oh,
did I say Paul Cruz?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Cruz.
I didn't mean to mention his name online.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Paul.
I know that
Cruz,
I get every time I say Paul Cruz, I got to put $1 in the cup, and I'm really sorry. I keep saying Paul Cruz.
Go ahead.
But, I said I would never say his name on the air. So
yeah, go ahead and he likes it if you tag him on a post anywhere on Facebook.
Yeah,
go ahead and tag
whatever
him.
you do, don't search. Yeah, don't search for Paul Cruz on Facebook or anything. Please don't. Yeah.
No. So if you hit that, don't hit the little @ sign and then start typing Paul Cruz. Especially don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
I don't know Paul Cruz. It sounds like I got to meet this human being and find out why we're giving him so much grief.
Oh, well,
It's just
we'll have Paul Cruz on the show one of these days.
Okay.
he's fun to torture.
So kind of like how I treat Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
Very nice.
But
yeah.
Special thanks to the ChampCar staff and your patience. And I just noticed Dana, it seemed like he's handed me off to Chelsea. Chelsea, I'm so sorry. So yeah,
that's what he does with the problem child. Wait,
I know,
what's going on?
Yeah.
So wait, so Chelsea's got to be taking care of you and Bill. That person is just a saint.
Yeah. So
yeah, well, she thinks she is. I mean, no, she is.
All right, we're off the rails now.
All right,
AJ,
yes,
thanks a lot.
That's all right.
Oh, it is all right. Thanks for coming on and thanks for being part of the follow-on mission and doing what you do. And if there's anything I can do to help out in any way possible, give me a ring, and you can get a hold of me through Bill or whatever. And I love the mission. So thank you again for all of that. And again, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. It's great. Very grateful to be here tonight. Well, today. So I'm very grateful to be here on the podcast. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to keep putting the word out about our mission.
Well, it's the least that we can do, and we appreciate it. So, all right, that is AJ Jackson from the follow-on mission. When we come back, we've got something to recap. I don't even know what it is anymore, but we'll come up with something. That's next on Inside ChampCar.
Inside ChampCar is a podcast that takes a deep dive into all things going on with the ChampCar Endurance Series. Hosted by veteran journalist, radio host, and racer Brian Belansky and ChampCar's very own Bill Strong, we talk to drivers, team bosses, tech gurus, and series supporters. Episodes air every week in time for you to listen on your way to the track. Inside ChampCar is on the Racing Wire Podcast Network, found on Apple, Spotify, Google, and most popular podcasting apps.
Welcome back to Inside ChampCar. Brian Belansky, Bill Strong. Bill, what a great conversation. AJ's a good guy. Not that I thought he
yes,
would be.
he is. Oh, he is, and he's a trip on the web, man. You follow him on Facebook, and he's out there, man. But it's awesome. He starts the conversations, and they're funny, and yeah, good guy, really good guy. Good program, and I hope it grows big and helps these guys out.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, we've got a couple of big, enduro. I mean, we do, everything's an enduro, but I mean, like, these are big enduros you got coming up.
Yeah, we were talking about doing, I can't really talk about it, but Chelsea and I were talking about something. I said, well, maybe a 2-hour enduro. We can't call it a sprint race because it's not really a sprint race, but 2-hour enduro or something like that. And, it's just something we were throwing back at each other. And I thought, wow, we call everything an enduro, but, I
super
think
enduros.
A 12-hour. Yeah, that's super enduros. That's 38 hours. So we used to do those back in the old days. But we got Thunder Hill coming up July 1st and 2nd. That's a 12-hour enduro. Goes into the nighttime. Our West Coast folks asked for night racing, so we're giving it to them. 12 hours of Thunder Hill West. We need some folks to sign up for that. We don't have that many cars right now, but $1,350 for that race, and that's 12 hours of racing for $1,350. Register. We just missed the early discount thing, but I think we may extend that out. Just register for that and we'll get you sorted. We have what else we got coming? Oh yeah, Nelson Ledges. That's longest day of Nelson Ledges, presented by Money Shift Racing. That's a 24-hour race, of course, at Nelson Ledges, the iconic.
How long's the break in the middle of that?
Nelson is back. There is no break. Wait. That is a 24-hour race.
24-hour, like straight through with no break.
Yeah. When
do I get my beauty
sleep? True
sleep?
24-hour. Well, you don't.
Okay.
And that's the thing with our shows. It's one of those things that we just go on and on and on, and we drivel on, especially our shows. We just, drivel on about the most useless things.
Right.
And usually around 3 a.m, where you might hear a snore every now and then, but Doc Waldrop and I would do those 24s consistently. Last year, fortunately, we lost Doc. So, we had to do it not had to do it to Tiffany joined us in the tower to do it. Yeah, sorry. We had to do it with Tiffany.
This is my 3 a.m. impersonation. It's my head.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a picture. So when you click the wrong link or a dead link is on our website, you'll see a picture of me where I fell asleep. It's the you're lost. Yeah, it's kind of funny. They made fun of me for years over that,
and
one.
They should for other things.
And
this is what's hardcore though about a ChampCar. No other series that I know of does back-to-back 24-hour races.
Yeah,
you guys do that.
Yeah, we're hardcore, man. This is not no sissies allowed. I mean, you can if you're a sissy, you can come race with us. We allow everybody, but it's August 12th and 14th, the Virginia International Raceway, the Lifeline Classic 24-hour. And we're looking at right now, Mr. Huggins and his Pinkies Out team. They've won the last 3. That's still not the most. What's there? Hold on. Oh, I don't have that info. But we have a team that won 4 of them, the 24s. Not success, not right. But over a few years. And that's Simon Says, and that was a little Honda or Acura Integra that won 4 24 hours races. And but Huggins is shooting for that 4th one this year, and to see if he can do it.
Nice.
Nice. And that takes place, August 12th and 14th with Lifeline, one of our sponsors sponsoring that. They're long-time sponsor, James Clay and his company. Sponsoring that race, and that has a test and a 24-hour, and also the Nelson Ledges presented by Money Shift Racing, another longtime sponsor, little shop outside of Ohio, and they supply all kinds of good gear for racers. They are sponsoring that race, and that also has a test day, but the track is doing that test day as well.
Got it.
They usually have night testing as well, so you can align your headlights, to point everywhere, but really where you want to go, because that seems to be the thing to do.
So
that's what we have.
Yeah, maybe we have a tech tip already for this week, but maybe next week we should do headlights, because guys and gals got to get ready for these things. So let's get that tech tip out there early enough so they can use the info.
How to point them all the wrong way and
exactly,
stuff?
and how many to have and where to put them and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
So
another tech tip. All right, I'll forget it and you'll remind me. I'll try last minute.
I'll try. All right. Next week we're going to talk about. We'll recap Hallett, and we will also do a little bit of looking ahead to Watkins Glen. That'll be what we do next week. Anything else before
just a little race? There's not much. Yeah, Watkins Glen. There's only, I think they said 115 cars signed up for that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's like the Major Deegan on a Friday night. 150 cars.
That's a big track. I mean, there's a lot of room out there.
Too good.
It's long, and half of them are gonna end up passing out at Tech anyway, because that takes like 3 or 4 days.
A weekend on the turnpike.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Inside ChampCar. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any episodes. It'd also be great if you share it on your social media channels. Comment on the ChampCar Facebook page. If you don't have a good comment, leave it on Bill's personal page. We have new episodes every week. He's Bill Strong. Bill Strong. All this time, I can't even get your name right. I'm Brian Belansky. This is the Racing Wire Podcast Network.